close to him because I didn't want to hit him.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Why don't you back up just a little bit?
This enough?
Yeah, that's good. That makes sense. I don't have any more big sticks. Bring me some big sticks. I'll throw them.
Dada, back up.
There you go. Ready? Oh, you're a little slow on your swing.
This cabbage bed still has a lot of stuff on it, but it's a lot of the leaves have broken down.
Yeah.
From the cabbage.
I think you just need to make a big compost pile.
But we're gonna pull off this stuff just because there's so much of it. But the soil looks really good underneath.
Yeah, look at how loose it is.
I do think we benefited from dropping this on it because all the leaves ended up breaking down.
Look how loose it is.
Yeah, it looks great.
So nice.
Good job, spinach. You survived the winter. I said sweet isn't really good.
Bitter is not good, especially
Spicy is good.
How long has this manure been here?
A year.
1 year? We're cleaning up this 1-year-old manure pile. It's broken down here enough to put it on the beds. So there's a lot here. It's broken way down. It started really huge. Now we're putting it on as many beds that will go on. These beds have already received 1 application. This upper end of the garden is really desperate for that manure. And just look at the difference. You can see it. This is more clay, sandy, less organic matter.
Joy's not closer.
I've never seen it twisted like that.
It's just an easier way. I didn't research how to do it. I've just seen people's twisted.
Yeah, that's great.
So I figure, yeah.
That's smart. That's really great.
Yeah.
When you compare that upper part of the garden to this lower part that we put a lot more manure on, this is the first place we put manure and compost, it's just a whole different story down here. This is the area we've gardened the most and kind of the most intensively. The soil is just, it's a whole different world down here. There's a lot of fungal activity in and from the wood chips. Oh wow, it's a giant pretzel or something. Did you have to tie the ends or
We just tucked them inside each other.
Oh, that's smart.
Like there was a big end and a loop, and we just stuck it in each other. Like you would do like a hemp necklace or something.
Are you taking all those off?
Just this one. I'm gonna leave that one on because there's still cilantro and spinach and collards in
There's
there.
a lot of Swiss chard on that end. This is the best grass in our whole place.
I know. It was where the row cover kept it covered so it didn't die. Isn't that funny?
That is funny.
Is this cilantro? What is this? Oh, it's cilantro.
Where's the cilantro?
Yep, we've almost eaten it all.
There's quite a bit left, but
Yeah.
we've eaten a ton out of here.
We've eaten more than half of it, but we still got plenty to harvest.
When was the last time you bought cilantro?
Last year.
And we eat it all the time.
We do, we eat it a lot because I always put
A
it
couple
in
times
salads.
a week.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, probably last year. I might have bought some in the middle of last summer because cilantro doesn't do well in the heat. It bolts, gets really bitter, so it's not real good. Cilantro prefers cool weather, which is funny when you think of like what you put in cilantro is like hot weather foods, but cilantro likes cool weather. So winter is actually a really good time to, well, fall and spring are really good times to grow it. And then the fall you can cover it with row cover and then you have it all winter long. It's very encouraging to have, if you like cilantro, it's very encouraging to have cilantro throughout the whole winter. What is it? Oh.
What's that?
Really bad.
Is it a deer
leg.
hoof?
It's really bad.
Well, maybe you'll wash your hands now.
What are you guys
we twist this like this, it makes it really easy to store it. Hey, will you work with us up here, please?
We figured we might as well come down here and do a work day when things in the house are moving really slow. I think it's a great decision because it is so beautiful out here. And it's a beautiful day in between a bunch of rainy days.
It's our first nice day this whole winter. It's
Right.
been warm.
Well, there's been like 2 or 3.
Warm ones? No.
Not this warm. You guys remember this t-shirt, Home Sweet Homestead. We love this shirt. I love it. But we have a new shirt, Home Sweet Homestead 2.0.
There.
If you want to get this shirt, I'll put a link in the description. We've actually had this shirt for months, but I've never tried to sell it. I've been wearing it. But it's just a different version on the same theme.
It's hard to learn how to sing.
There it is.
What the thing is,
You like your shirt?
swimming is like
Home Sweet Homestead.
Yours says it too.
Mine says it too, you're right.
What is the thing?
You trying to sled? It's not going to work very well, there's no snow. That's about all you're going to get.
Push me all the way down there.
Woohoo!
So if you guys remember, we planted an awesome winter garden. We had a huge bed of kale, and then 2 decent sized beds of Swiss chard, and then a bed of lettuces and herbs and collards. Now, if you remember, the goats got in and ate this whole bed of kale. There was nothing left. And that kale over there. But if they hadn't, we would have had our own kale for the whole winter. But that being said, we only had it till about January. But we did continue to have lettuce until just like a few weeks ago. And we'd still have spinach, cilantro, collards, and Swiss chard. And to tell you the truth, I have not bought a single bit of greens or salad fixings until, well, I had to buy some salad fixings like a week or 2 ago because the lettuce finally did get too mushy. I really think that the winter garden is one of the best things you can do for your farm because it basically completely maintains itself as long as the row cover is on, or say you have a greenhouse, as long as you keep your greenhouse at the correct temperature. You don't have to compete with pests. You don't have to deal with weeds. You literally just plant it, let it grow, keep it weeded in late summer, early fall, and then once the cold temps hit, you just cover it up. And for months, we have had free produce pretty much all winter. And we have eaten salad after salad, hash after hash, pile of greens after pile of greens, and we have not had to buy them. And it has always bothered me to buy greens when I know how easy they are to grow. So finally, we have our first really good winter garden. And I have to say it was a huge success. And so I would say even if you don't do much of a summer garden, plant greens and lettuces and herbs for your winter garden. It's almost like it's even more of a reward because people say the more you work, the more the reward. But to me, it feels like because you work so hard all summer, it's like this miracle of food in the winter that you really don't have to do any work for. It's incredible.
Look how big these kale plants were. They're a giant.
Oh, I miss them.
Look at that root system. Just like a dozen earthworms just in this one root.
So beautiful. Pull! You can do it, pull! Now shake the dirt back into the bed. Yeah. Oh. There you go.
Lunchtime.
And then everyone gets a son that decorates their hair with flowers. Thank you, Bubby. Dear Wilder is saying, do you want to play with me or not?
I think we've all had a little case of cabin fever.
Literally.
Just because the weather, it's been very rainy, pretty cold, a lot of snow, and the rental cabin we're in, even though it's a great place to live in this interim time, it is It's not home, and it's also doesn't have a lot of outside options. It's kind of,
And it's very dark.
it's back in the woods, and so there's a steep bank down one side. It has a small little lot. So even though it's an awesome place to live, this down the hill at our homestead is a perfect place to play and relax in the yard and the grass.
Yeah, that song, Home, Let Me Go Home, Home, Home. Of course, then it says home is wherever I'm with you. But that's not always true. The sunshine is like...
I've ate enough of my sandwich so you can have it.
Thanks.
For this one, and I'm going to get you a new one.
Okay guys, it's time. Break's over. Take a picture of you standing on there?
No, video.
Oh, video. Okay, it's a video. Go.
Please bring that over here. Okay. It's not a picture.
It's a video. Okay, go.
This is our asparagus bed that's been providing wonderful asparagus for us for the last few springs, and it just needs to be cleaned out because come probably April, the asparagus will be coming up. So we just need to get all these old asparagus stalks out of here. When you grow asparagus, you let it go to seed because then it will reseed itself and you'll have more abundance in your patch throughout the years.
If you want to, you can take the strings down and just mow that asparagus area and just...
With what?
The mower.
You know how to cut away from you and everything? Mm-hmm. Okay, it's sharp. It's Daddy's knife.
I think that'll do.
This here is a strawberry bed. I'm about to clean up a little, but look, all this cilantro that seeded itself and is growing from last spring, and then it seeded itself in the summer and grew up during the fall and winter. Arthur, we didn't even have to plant more cilantro. We have a whole bed full. All right, the newest little project Joy and I are working on is we're clearing all these kale stems out of this bed, and actually if the goats hadn't eaten these all the way down, we would have kale through the summer, but they are not going to come back. So what we're going to do is clear this of kale, and I'm actually going to transfer a whole bunch of strawberry plants that are growing in my paths. I'm going to transfer those strawberry plants to this bed, so then we'll have 3 beds of strawberries, and eventually I hope to have at least 4 30-foot beds of strawberries going at different times. Hopefully some year 1 plants, some year 2 plants, and then switching every year, year 1, year 2. Isn't that big of a deal that the goats ended up eating this because I was gonna have to pull these out anyway to make room for strawberries.
That would have been harder.
Yeah, I don't know that I would have been able to do it if there was a whole bunch of beautiful kale here.
Mom, can I?
Actually, a lot of these kale plants are making a comeback, but I'm still gonna pull them out. But that's pretty fascinating to me. I mean, they were eaten down to absolutely nothing. Just sticks standing in the middle of this bed, and yet they've all got some green on the sides, and they're gonna sprout out new kale leaves. So if this ever happens to you, don't pull your kale out unless you have a purpose, because you'll get kale a lot sooner in the spring.
Another thing we're doing is just slightly rebuilding these beds. I'm pretty committed to keeping these beds where they are, which just makes this type of maintenance very minimal, but I'm still taking some of the paths, which was wood chips last year. It's always the nicest soil where you pile up wood chips, and I'm throwing it up onto the beds, and then we'll need wood chips again or heavy straw on the paths. What do you think?
I think it looks like a garden again. It's always the best. It's the best part of winter is whenever we have one of these warm days and we come down here and just clean things up a bit down here, start prepping beds. It's like, yes, it's happening. Spring is coming. Winter will not always be here.
I think maybe I'll install this gate about 2 years ago, right here. It wasn't wide enough when I bought it, so I'm having to do a little bit of a kind of a modification on the on the gate posts.
Oh, it was this.
Little muddy munchkin.
Just wait for it on.
All right, there's your garden gate. After how many years? 2 years of.
2 years that one's been sitting there.
Well, really 3 years that we haven't had a gate, but 2 years that one's been sitting there. Don't hang on my gate.
Stop putting burrs on my butt.
It's not boys.
What is it, mud?
Water.
No, water.
It's in there?
Could be. That makes 13 eggs we've gotten today.
Yay! Back up in production.
That's a lot. That's
Yes,
great.
That's great.
I'm the wrong way in my boat.
You found it.
Well, it's just in the camper. No, that was an awesome day. I feel like we can finally say again, and I don't think we've said it in a long time, but that was another great day on the homestead. It's good to be back. It's good to be back.
Still have fun down here?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.